Good day and welcome back to a new SoFi tutorial. Today I want to show you how to run SoFi real-time and inspect its results. Once we have the real-time panel, we have to define all the parameters relevant for this run. In this particular case, I will import a configuration file to keep it simple. At this stage, I refer to the tutorial. The configuration file we're going to use in this run is the following. We are going to do SoFi real-time on ASSM data to keep it very simple, so it's only one instrument. We are going to do a rather simple run, so we have 4 factors only: a traffic source, so HOA, a cooking source, COA, a biomass burning source, BBOA, and then 1 OA. We do only 5 iterations, and we have resampling enabled, so we do bootstrap. The rolling approach is enabled. We have 14 days window. This is a typical value, and the daily shift. Please also note the constraints. We are going to constrain the traffic fingerprint, the cooking fingerprint, and the biomass burning fingerprint, all of them with an upper A value of 0.3. So we import this configuration file. We can confirm, and now we can click on Start Real-Time Source Apportionment Evaluation. Good. Once we have pressed on this button, we basically enter into the endless loop of SoFi Real-Time, where we have 2 modes. We have an idle mode and we have an effective mode. The idle mode is linked with the progress bar decreasing, and as long as you see the progress bar here, you have access to this button and you can abort the process at any time in case you want, for example, to modify a few parameters. So you can stop here at any time, do your thing here or also from the SoFi panel, and then resume the run. Please note, in case you have to change anything, don't click on the buttons here or here. You might mess up the process. So always stop here first and then modify the parameters. The other mode is the so-called effective mode, where SoFi real-time really is fetching the new data, and in case there is some new data, the PMF process will restart. Now the progress bar is at 0, it will start the effective mode, and SoFi real-time will try to fetch the data. That's the effective mode. Now it's over. Please note we just started the process, so we have to accumulate enough data in order to be able to perform PMF. Recalling that we have defined a rolling window of 14 days, we will do this 14 times until we have the first 14 days ready in order to launch then the first PMF run. Good, now we have accumulated the first 14 days, so now SoFi real-time is ready to perform PMF. It will launch the ME2 executable any second. It's here. As you can see here, now we have the ME2, the PMF running. Recalling we have 5 iterations, so we will do this 5 times. And as soon as these 5 PMF runs are finished, then SoFi will import all the PMF runs and update the results from the real-time panel. Once we have the results ready, then we can discuss in more detail what the real-time panel here is visualizing. This was the first run, now the second run is running. Now we have the 5th run running. And once we have then the first rolling or the first real-time result ready, then we can stop the process and go through the result panel here. So now it's again the idle mode. I will press on this button. Let's stop the process and discuss the result panel. The result panel contains 4 sections. We have a time series section, top left. We have the overview contribution as a pie chart, top right. We have a total scaled residual histogram, bottom right, and the fingerprint section on bottom left. Now for the time series information, the default graph is the absolute contribution, as you can see here. The user can switch or can change to relative contribution, residuals, or daily cycle. For example, daily cycle here. You can pop the graph, inspect in more detail here, and then close the popped graphs from the close button. Similar for the fingerprint, the default or the factor profiles fingerprints. The user can also switch to residuals in order to visualize the residuals in more detail. Now, those are just a few main results we're providing here with the SoFi result panel. The huge advantage of having SoFi Real-Time loaded or linked to SoFi Pro is that this solution is already part of the SoFi Pro package. If you click on the blue result button here, as you can see the 5 iterations we have just performed already loaded here. And if you click or if you open the main result panel of SoFi Pro, you can see the solution is already here and ready to be analyzed and inspected in full depth using all the features and gadgets we have in SoFi Pro. You can just close the result panel here and click again on Start Real-Time Assay Evaluation to resume the run and to continue with the SoFi Real-Time Analysis. So here we just keep going and SoFi Real-Time will again try to fetch new data. As soon as the progress bar is over, now it's trying to fetch new data and restarting the process. Now please note that from the configuration file we had CMB enabled. This means that after PMF run, SoFi Real-Time will typically perform also CMB runs. Now this is offline data in that we already have the full next day. This means that right now SoFi Real-Time is fetching the next day and performs first of all the CMB, in this case only one CMB run. It will be done any second. Now it's calling the ME2 to perform the CMB run. It has just finished. And as you can see, the CMB run is now done, and then it will update the CMB result. So basically this PMF result plus the next day, and then start over with the PMF run over this day. And right now it's continuing with the PMF runs, so the day has been shifted. Now we have the new rolling mechanism, and those are the PMF runs from 6 to 10. So right now it's position 9. It will come the next PMF run, next iteration, and then it will update again the results. Now we'll just let it run for some time until we have roughly amount of data, and then it will describe in more detail a few more parameters under the results. Please note the alternating system. Right now we are concluding the PMF runs, so SoFi Real-Time is just updating the PMF result, and then after that it will restart or will continue with the CMB run that will fetch the new day and perform then CMB on the next day. So it's always CMB fetches the new day, then once the day is over, then the rolling PMF is moved on, the rolling PMF is performed, and so on. And now we have enough data, we have roughly 1 month of data. I would like to show you a couple of more things on the Result tab. For that, we go to the Result tab here. We have main settings and we have saving settings pertinent to CMB scans. Under main settings, we have the time frame. Now, last 28 days simply means that the last 28 days are loaded in here in that solution. We support no graphs, last 28 days, as just mentioned, last 14 days, last 7 days, and the last day. The other options are just classical options that will update the graphs, the result graphs immediately. Now, this block is for the CMB results, and they are stored as text files, as you can see here. In case you pop one of those, each text file contains the CMB results for that current day. This data represents the interface between the SoFi real-time results, the real-time component, and, for example, a customized homepage. In case you want to show real-time ambient source apportionment results, you might want to consider using this data for the data upload. Those were the main parameters on the results. In case you are running RT and you're happy with these settings, then you can again press on Start RT Assay Evaluation button and resume the RT runs. That's all for now. Thanks for listening.